sure about this temperature.
What do you mean not sure about? What temperature?
Now I'm not cold.
See? Now the lights are on.
I don't want to have to go putting this back on, you know what I mean?
I reckon you should just take it off and be done with it, because then at least you're advertising.
And then I can advertise.
Who are you advertising right now? Who made that?
Zara.
Oh, wow.
Zara, if you want to jump on board. We'll be all over that. It's cheaper than flannels.
Zara. For people who don't know how to dress themselves and only want to wear black.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm half reptile. Fuck it. Hold on.
Oh, hang on a minute. Oh.
Can't get out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Outlaw Picks podcast.
Oh, wait.
Ollie's just changing himself. That's a nice sweatshirt you've got on there.
Well done. Hold on. Let me get me on.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. His knees falling apart. And
knees actually falling apart.
He's getting old.
Jimmy Warlord. Well, it's not actually Jimmy's fault. He actually looked really upset.
Did he?
He genuinely looked upset that he'd fucking hurt his old.
He does though, doesn't he?
Mate.
He does. I mean, that's generally like what he does. He like
just looks upset.
Dumps somebody on the back of their head, and he's like,
sorry. I'm sorry about that.
I told you he needs like 2 sorry cards per session,
maximum.
Like, put them in his pocket, so he has to hand over a sorry card when he dumps somebody on.
What's anyone going to do about it if he runs out of sorry cards? Like, have another one.
We'll give him a couple of fuck you cards as well. Then.
Yeah. Right, go on. So you've introed while I was off camera.
Sorry, everybody. Ollie's here now.
Mess. I'm here.
We'll wait. We'll wait.
Late, but it's worth it.
Well, that's up for debate, isn't it?
It'd be a sad sight with this chair with no one in it, wouldn't it? Easy replaced, I'd imagine.
We'll just get someone else to read your notes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it'd be fine.
Well, whoever did your notes this week.
The notes I bought. We got new shit in the shop. We've just dropped these Roughhouse sweatshirts, and I don't have Roughhouse. I do, but you've got it on. You've got one on over there. You can't see it.
Jamie's got.
We don't sell those ones though. They were special ones only.
Oh, that's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, I was going to wear a red one, but then I'm like,
can't
we
do
can't.
That.
No,
it tempts everyone. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So
do we sell these hats? I don't remember whether we
so.
Do we?
They've been on. I don't know if they're still on or not. But
we do so many custom things for ourselves. Yeah, we sell these hoodies.
So the new Roughhouse sweats and Roughhouse t-shirts are up. They're super limited run. So if you do want to get them, go get them fast because they're going to run out real quick. Fullreptile.co.uk. If you would like a 10% discount, use the code Outlawed, which will soon be turned into Don't Tell Wad. But for now, use the code Outlawed for 10% off. A very cool Roughhouse, small Roughhouse on the front. There's a big Roughhouse on the back, which I won't show you right now. But they're very cool. People at the gym are eating them up.
We got black and grey?
No, black.
Just black.
Black with white print and white print on the back, and that's it for now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Well,
So
the grey one.
Some custom greys. I saw you put that on Instagram. I was like, we didn't sell those yet.
Yeah, I like to see the sweat coming through it when I'm working out. You see, that's why I like.
Yeah.
See, if I'm wearing a black sweatshirt, it looks the same when I'm done as it does when I started. Whereas if I've got a grey one, I'm like, look how fucking hard I've worked.
Now you know I'm working hard,
right?
Yeah. We're also brought to you by C4. Thank you, C4. Again, I'm sorry, it's still just for the people in the US that I see how I swerved away from fans then. See, I say stupid shit, but I only say it once. Only for people in the US. If you jump on to c4energy.com and use the code FULLREPTILE, you get 30% off your order. We're all over C4. We love it. It's all through our gym. Everyone's using it. We're very happy with our relationship with them.
That's the one.
Yeah, if you want to get on board.
That's the one. Cherry lime.
Yeah.
That's a close second.
Yeah, I'm the other way around, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I shall neck that in a minute for the session that I'm not going to do because I've blown my knee out.
Oh.
I just do upper body weights.
Should we keep a tally on the bottom of the screen here, Jamie? How many times he mentions it throughout the podcast? oh, yeah, no, that was a bad knee bar, actually. I remember.
Not as bad as my knee feels right now, though. Just going to drink some collagen water just to rehab my knee.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
I'm big about sympathy. I don't really try and get sympathy.
I just left silence there.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime I say anything about physical pain, you just go, oh, yeah. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, but, you know.
Yeah. I know you're there emotionally.
I know
you're there emotionally for me. That's why physically, I say that to the kids. Look, don't come to me with your physical pain. Emotionally, I'm there for you. Physically, I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to get on with it.
You put yourself in these circumstances.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
You
keep moving that and it never moves. It's not moved.
No, it does.
Once.
You just know when it's right, don't you?
Is that right?
Yeah, you just know when it's right. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk about some fights now?
Yeah, let's have a quick fight night review.
Go on then. What do you want to talk about?
Well, first off, it's probably reverse order that we're going to do it in, but I was well impressed with Marina Rodriguez.
Took the words out of my mouth.
Well impressed.
I completely underestimated her ground defense and her takedown defense.
Mate, when she was on the bottom, Mackenzie on top, I caught myself with my breath held. I was like, oh shit, shit, she said, oh shit. And man, she did so good.
Yeah, she did.
Because that is a tricky puzzling. That's a really tough assignment for her to get that win. I thought she was great standing, controlled everything. And, when she did get put on her back, she, stuck to the basics and did good, man. Did really good, yeah.
Really impressive, really impressive. And it's nice to see. I mean, I just underestimated her ground game because she was up against Mackenzie Dern. I didn't expect it to be as problematic for Dern on the floor. I thought once it hit the floor, Dern was going to be able to just kind of cruise through her. And there were a couple of moments where you're like, oh, this is the was it second round where she was. I just thought, this is the moment. But
she started flowing through a couple of positions. And you were like, oh shit, watch out, it's coming.
But I think I said it in the war room. Like Dern is really good as long as the fight's going her way, but as soon as she starts to struggle getting the takedown, she gets a bit like her striking's a bit reckless anyway.
Yeah.
And what was interesting, did you hear Perillo's cornering?
No.
It was like what he was basically saying was don't throw one combination and then level change. Throw a combination, then pause for a minute, then throw another one, then level change to kind of change the timing of it. And he was like, this is it. We're learning on the spot. It's like it was like there was something they were going to have to use in a future training camp to work on. Cool. But it was almost like they didn't think they would need it in this fight and they were going to be able to get the fight to the ground when they wanted it. And then when she started to struggle getting the takedowns, then Perillo was like, okay, we're going to have to learn on the job. You're going to have to...
It's funny, isn't it, the difference in skills in the ranges. Like you can just see how beautifully she sort of flows in that grappling state, and then you sort of know where she's at in her striking.
Yeah.
She's not beginner. You can see that she has some level of skills in it. She's not elite. You can see that she's not elite. She's still a bit clunky. She's still not. She doesn't flow the same as she flows on the floor.
Yeah.
But she'd be good, man.
Yeah, I mean they've both got loads of time, haven't they?
Yeah.
Both in their. Are they both in their 20s?
Probably.
Yeah. It was an impressive performance for Rodriguez. I thought she was going to get subbed. First, second round, I thought
there's a lot of arm and leg to sub as well.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
And it's that range because Rodriguez is a Thai boxer, and as soon as a Thai boxer gets their hands on you, they want to elbow and knee, and the instinct to elbow and knee sometimes overrides the takedown defense, which really should be prioritized. Yeah. Otherwise, you're only going to throw an elbow or a knee, and then you're on the floor, and then you spend 3 or 4 minutes getting up.
Yeah.
And and Rodriguez, the stats had shown that she'd been controlled on the floor a lot, and I just thought to myself, if Dern gets her down, she only has to take her down once, and then.
Did you talk me around?
Problems.
Did you talk me? I can't remember the end of the comment. You were talking me into.
I thought
Dern,
you kept track
you?
of all these things. He pretends. He's got spreadsheets.
I've got Johnny. Get on it, Johnny. Come on, bro. I need my numbers. I need my numbers.
Is that right?
I think you tried to talk me around, but. Maybe out of principle, I just stayed with Rodriguez.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway,
I thought Dern was going to do it. Randy Brown breaking his toe with that first front kick, and you see him trying to keep putting it back in.
I was like, "What is he doing?"
I can't understand why they didn't see it though. Like as soon as he landed that front kick, you could see he stepped awkward on his foot, and then you kept seeing him like backstepping and like trying to push the toe into place.
He still did a lot of kicking with that foot, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean the thing is, like you dislocate a toe like that, it's.
I know what you mean now. About Randy Brown. I'm watching him, I'm like, you should be really fucking good.
Yeah.
You really should be good.
Yeah. But those low kicks were getting through way too easy.
Yeah.
And I don't think that was anything to do with his foot. I think maybe he was struggling to put pressure on it, but there was no reason why he couldn't counter it or turn into it or something. But fair play to him for fighting through that. I mean, Jared Gooden's, he's got some heavy, heavy low kicks on him.
Yeah.
Randy Brown should be a problem in this division, I think.
Might be just want to find his rhythm, find his flow, and he strings 5 on the bounce, and suddenly you're looking at title contention.
Yeah.
No, who knows? Tim Elliott was a funny one, weren't it? James Krause came out afterwards and said, "Oh fuck, I like that." I knew, I don't know James Krause at all, but from what I've seen of him, I felt like he would be sort of humble and human enough to go, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm learning coaching. I'm learning how to coach as you do, you learn as you go, really. They got it wrong, didn't they?
Yeah.
But it was close fight. I think Nicolao's really good.
He is good.
I think he's really good, yeah.
Yeah. And Tim Elliott's a problem for everybody, but it's, I don't know whether it's kind of coming to the end of that phase where what he does is unique anymore.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like you see a lot of guys moving like Tim Elliott right now. Like a lot of people have been inspired by Dom Cruz and they're like switching up their footwork and they're moving at odd angles and stuff. And I don't think it's as unfamiliar as it has been through the majority of his career because Tim Elliott's been going for a while.
The thing is, he should... you can inform me a little bit on this, but so he was one of the guys that was first around doing that. And we talk a lot about, it's fine, you can move with an unorthodox nature, but you've still got to move with an intent. Like just moving is just moving. He's been doing that so long, you would feel like everything should have an intent behind it. He's not just, you always saying you switch stance here, but what for? What did you switch stance for? The people that are just starting to come through moving like that maybe don't have the intention behind it, but he's been doing this a while now. You would think that everything should have a pull or a push or an angle change or whatever.
For sure. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are, you can see that they've been inspired by Cruz's footwork or Dillashaw's footwork or something like that, and then you can see they're mimicking parts of the footwork without the understanding of what they're trying to apply. Why? And I don't feel like that's the case with Tim Elliott, but no. I think that I kind of feel like I need to see him add something new to his game now. If he's gonna continue making headway in this division.
Even the I'm not saying I sit on either side of this really, but even the conversation in the corner about how many rounds you are up, you're still trying to win a fight or you're trying to win a decision. There's a nuance in there. Do you know what I mean? Like just go out and win the fight.
Yeah.
You still got a round to win a fight.
Yeah.
And it comes back to, I guess, what we've talked about a few times about, like, why are you going in there?
Yeah.
You're going in there to put on an athletic performance to steal a decision, or you're going in there to beat another human.
Yeah, yeah. And I think this is where, like, people talk about open scoring a lot, and I think that's where open scoring becomes a problem, is because then...
You're like, oh,
yeah.
I'm too up.
Dude, you're too up. Look, you're too up. Just move. Just stay away from him.
Yeah.
Every time he steps in, just clinch him and smother him.
Yeah.
It's
and
not...
You see it, don't you?
Yeah, and then you've got one guy trying to coast to the decision that he now is assured that is his as long as he survives 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's not.
That's not good, is it?
It's not. I don't know. It's like, I understand when it comes to, like, they go, like, what was the thing I saw the other day about open scoring? It's like, and I think it might have been off the back of this, is like, if there's ever been an argument for open scoring, now's it. Yeah. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, that's not an argument for open scoring. It's like, it's the only sport in the world where you'd not, the competitors don't have track of how they're doing. But it's not, it's also the only sport in the world where the competitors punch the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
Like, you can knee somebody and elbow them in the face. You can elbow them in the face on the ground. You can strangle them. There's a lot of differences to MMA than there are other things.
Yeah.
I don't think open scoring is ever a solution. Open scoring for the screen, perhaps, for people who are watching at home. But I just think you just make the stats better. Make the stats more accurate. Like, give us those sensors in the gloves where we're feeling the impact. So it's not just some fucking nerd with buttons in the truck going, that was a significant strike. Yeah. That was a takedown. That was definitely a takedown. I'm like, dude,
never been struck or struck someone with a significant strike.
I have cast eyes on these motherfuckers. I know the breed. I know the species, and they're not
significant, like, by whose standards?
It's like, you've got to be better at pressing buttons than you have at being an MMA fighter, or at least understanding what you're watching. And how can someone sitting in a truck backstage judge what is a significant strike or not? Like, you just can't. Like, it's ridiculous. What we need are experts in those fields that, I mean, this is the immediate solution, is have experts in those fields. So someone judging what a takedown is in MMA, someone judging what a close submission attempt is, someone judging what a significant strike is, and someone that judges what an accumulative strike is as well. Perhaps that's the same person. But, like, what we need to do is improve the stats. Like, I want pedometers in the gloves, and they're working on it at the PI, aren't they? The sensors in the mouth guards.
Yeah, they are. I've not caught with Dean about where they're at with that. It's just tough. I just know how inaccurate it can be. Like, even something as simple as a GPS system tracking people running around a field. You know what I mean? It's not. We're getting there, but we're getting there.
But I think that's the way to make it. That's the way to nail down actually what's going on in the fight.
But, you know, people that sit in a position of with the word judge next to them.
Yeah,
that's a high standard that you have to be held to. Do you know what I mean? Like a judge in a court is held to a really high standard. You have to have basically done something pretty significant. And
you know, and a lot of judging is still opinion based.
Yeah.
Like, so we were at Polaris at the weekend, which was definitely worth watching if you're on Fight Pass. Mark Goddard and I were both judges, and we've been judges for the majority of the events. Like when they first brought in judges, Goddard and I were two of the first, because we have unique understandings of what we're watching. Like Goddard comes from a gi jiu-jitsu black belt with a wrestling base.
Gorillas, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and also having the understanding of MMA at like the closest level you can be at, right? You're like literally in there with the best in the world. Me on the other side, I'm judging it from an MMA perspective, like trying to see the fight aspect of it. So like there were a couple of weird matches. Like a lot of people are trading footlocks right now, and there was that match where two guys just sat straight down.
Yeah, you're saying,
and it was so little happened in the match that it was the one that was holding ground and moving forward and opting to entangle. But then like there was only one decision that Goddard and I went opposite ways, and we sat and debated it, and we both had a good point.
Yeah.
It wasn't like one was right or one was not. It was like, well, this is the judging criteria that we've agreed on, but this is how we interpret it based on what we've just watched. I just, like, 3 judges, I think, generally is too speculative, and I think most of them are largely uneducated in what MMA is. Like, I don't want to see the same judge sitting at the side of a boxing ring that I do at the side of an MMA ring.
No, you need to be a specialist in that area.
Right.
You can't specialise in everything.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, tangent done. Tangent done.
Full tangent.
Shall we move on?
The big bear, Romanov, smashed it. I think he's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really good. And is it Agapova? They're saying her name different on the commentary.
Were they? Myra Agapova?
I think it looks like Agapova to me, but it's Agapova or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
She was very, very dominant and very aggressive, wasn't she?
Yeah.
She was good.
Mazzo just doesn't look like she's got that physical strength.
Yeah.
She reminds me a bit of olive oil off Popeye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like a little bit kind of wiry and good, lovely snapping high kicks and stuff. But
yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
it was a good card.
It was.
Some good stuff. It's a sleeper, wasn't it? And so is this one.
Another
Fight. Oh, shout out to Shane Curtis on
smashed it.
Polaris. Smashed it. Got a good win, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Looked really good.
Yeah, good man.
Okay.
Winning. Gyms are winning a lot at the minute.
Yeah, man. Yeah, us and Nottingham MMA. Smashing it.
Yeah, very
Love
good.
it. Okay.
Just about to drink some C4, Dan.
Oh, yeah.
If you lived in America...
Yeah. I know a lot of people that live in America.
Do you?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that live in America. Like Ricky Lundell, the base of his bed in his bedroom is trays
cans
and
of
cans
C4.
and cans of energy drinks.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, if you did live in America and you wanted some, you could use the code Outlawed. No, don't use that code. Fuck, don't use that code. Don't use that code. This is why I have notes. Because Jimmy punched me in the head too much. This is why I have notes. Don't use the code Outlawed. That's a completely different thing. Use the code Full Reptile.
We need some consistency with these codes.
Yeah, I know, but it just adds to the humour.
Do you get 3 tries? Is it like a password code? Can you like try a few? Like try,
just keep going.
Try Full Reptile. If that doesn't work, try Outlawed.
Or just scroll back to the start of this podcast and you'll get the right fucking code. All right.
Or we could flash up the proper code at the bottom, just here. And that,
Jamie will put the right codes up.
Jamie can.
This is just for all comedy purposes only.
Is that what it is?
I know Jamie will get it right. Just giving us something to talk about. Do you know what I mean? If you're not laughing at me, who are you laughing at? Well then, Ariane Clenbuterol. Gotta be, surely.
Got to be something. She's got some fucking traps on her, hasn't she?
Oh my God, hasn't
Jeez.
she? I'm so envious.
Especially because she's got 2 working knees as well.
Yeah, I know. I bet she doesn't walk with a limp right now. Well, unless it's injection day.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ, she's jacked, isn't
Yeah,
she?
she is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
She is. She's... I remember making her debut. I was there in... Was it Mexico City? I think it was.
Yeah.
And
Was that off the boat? Did you go to Mexico off the boat?
No,
or did you go to Brazil off the boat?
That was Brazil.
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
No, this was I'd flown in to do the to work on the desk.
Yeah.
And that was when the crowd were getting rowdy and throwing beers at Carla Esparza as she was leaving because she got the win over Alexa Grasso.
Right.
It was a bit
Sounds
wild,
like,
that was. And then one of
Harvey
Carla
Hadden.
Esparza's, yeah, especially the bit where one of Carla Esparza's coaches then started to try and climb into the stands to get to the guy that threw the beer.
Yeah, so it.
Yeah. She got opened up bad in that one by that elbow against Angela.
Yeah. Angela was really good that day, weren't she? She could have got out-muscled and physicality was not in her favour and stuff, but she was smart. She did good. She was good, man.
And you know, same thing with that last one as well against Liang Na. Like she was just too much for her.
Yeah.
She was just like Na was one of the fighters coming over from the PI, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And she had all this hype around her, but then the coaches had visa issues getting in. She had
when she was on her own, right.
She had Song Yadong in a corner,
Yeah.
and she just went fucking mental for the first 3 minutes and gasped badly. And she almost had Carnelossi in a couple of submissions, but Carnelossi was just able to get through it into the second round and then stopped her with ground and pound. And if you remember, she was exhausted getting off the...
There's very few people built like that have nice fluid striking.
Yeah.
Very few. Like it seems to go...
Normally a bit
I've
stiff.
got natural power, therefore I just forego all of the technical work and I just rely on my power. And that's not necessarily true, right? As, like right at the top, you can get both. But she just doesn't seem to have that fluidity that you sort of see of like people that really know how to strike.
No, for sure.
Timing and tempo and stuff.
Her nickname's it's Sarissa. I thought they were saying chorizo on the fucking.
Chorizo.
I thought that was a secret. She's on the old horse chorizo.
Yeah, exactly. Man,
you reckon she is? You reckon? I mean,
I don't know. Who knows?
Like
it's tough nowadays.
Everyone
deciding it, but
people still do though, don't they? I remember Tisha Torres always getting a load of shit for it. Like when she was coming out of the Ultimate Fighter house, people were like saying that she was using gear and stuff, and then she started uploading photos of when she was like 6 years old with fucking guns. Yeah,
who's that? I think Hannah Goldie looks like she's looks like she bathes in Nandrolone, but. She's same thing. I think she put some pictures of her when she was younger, and she's just like double bicep posing as a 4-year-old. He's like,
that's the Canelo butcher. That's what that is. That's
maybe.
why. That's what Canelo blamed his clenbuterol fail on. He blamed it on the tainted meat. There's some fucking taint in that meat for sure. Jesus.
Estela Nunes.
Yeah, man. She comes over from one.
Fucking really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching her against one. She's only got that one loss on her record, and that was against Angela Lee. And
she was lighting up.
Yeah, and she fought hard out of that anaconda, and it was just that slow.
Yeah,
we put it on one of the videos, didn't we? The top 5 Lee family finishes, which is on. It's on the channel now, isn't it? Yeah, it's on there.
She just couldn't handle her on the ground, could she? Angela Lee's like.
She's very good.
Accomplished.
But then like Mei Yamaguchi is really good as well. Short, powerful, kind of similar in a lot of ways to this fight. Maybe doesn't want to strike quite as much, but like Mei Yamaguchi was testing a takedown defense constantly throughout that. And, she was taken down a couple of times, but she was able to reverse. She was able to get back up. And her Muay Thai looks really slick.
Yeah.
Looks really comfortable.
She was supposed to fight Angela Hill and Jin Frey, but I think this might be a better fight for her. I think the only thing is she's very different body shape, isn't she? She's like long and lean, and Ariane's obviously not long and lean.
No.
She's thick and stocky.
The only thing that's worth noting... I feel like she could
pick her apart, though.
Yeah. Who? Carnelossi?
I feel like Nunes can pick her apart.
My only concern is how long she's been out. Like that last fight in one championship against Gina Inyong. Yeah. Was 2018. And both of her cancelled bouts. The one against Angela Hill was 2019. She withdrew due to injury. And then the one in 2021 against Jinju Frey, she withdrew from that one as well.
Through injury?
It just doesn't say, it just says withdrew. So the issue is, like, how is she from all that time out? I mean, it's a good...
Well, you'd think she should be healed up, whatever she was injured
with. 3 years, man. She's been out for 3 years.
Yeah.
Plus, she may have been injured a couple of times in that. I do think it's a better fight. Carnelossi is a better fight than Hill or Jinju Frey for her. I mean, maybe not Jinju Frey. That's a pretty guaranteed decision fight, that one is. Whereas Carnelossi, she's got some power.
Yeah. I mean,
I agree with you. I think Nunes can pick her apart. But she's gonna have to,
depending on who she's coming back in as.
Yeah. If she's the same fighter that we saw in one, 3 years ago, then all better. Hopefully she's better. But even if she's the same fighter, I think she beats Carnelossi. I'd be aiming for that
this morning, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do a few more shows to the channel. Well, you're going to do them. Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
they asked for Ollie's expertise, but I choked on my coffee laughing at them. Leave meeting.
How are you managing to end my call? I got Nunes.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I'd be aiming for that scar on her face if I was her.
Yeah,
why not? Okay,
Have you got Brandon Davis and Batgerel?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
I'm not sure on the order.
I didn't realise that Brandon Davis had been released.
Yeah, he's come this second time round, right?
But fucking hell, what a fighter.
Run. Yeah, he's wicked.
What a fighter.
Yeah.
And Dana Batgerel, I watched 2 of his fights, because I remember calling his debut against Alateng Haley. His last 2 fights against Canetti and Natividad, though, that counter hook that he's got, especially the one against Guido.
I think you picked Guido in that.
Yeah, well, maybe. I'm a fan. I like Guido. But, I mean, it was a lovely counter hook. It was
Alateng Haley, I watched that yesterday, and it was a close fight. Alateng was maybe just a little bit too much for him, but he's good. And like you say, Brandon Davis is second time. He had a horrible run, didn't he?
Horrible
but
run.
But he took Giga to a split. Yeah. But
yeah, although he wasn't called Giga Chikadze, was he? Did you hear the intro? Giga Chikadze.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, even Giga was like...
We've morphed 2 UFC fighters together.
It was a horrible run. I mean,
Giga fucking whacked him with some stuff away. He just took it.
Yeah.
Took it. He didn't have a lot to answer him with, did he? But he's a tough motherfucker for sure.
You see, that's my concern is that he's a bit hittable. And that counter hook, he does hold that. I mean, he holds both of his hands low, but particularly his right hand is like at chest level. My concern is that he's going to be excited he's back in the UFC.
Yeah.
He's going to come flying at this guy and he's going to get clipped with a left hook.
You know, when we talk about pulling people onto stuff, because you hit them and they get piss them off, I feel like it could piss him off quite easy.
For sure.
And you just pull him straight onto something.
For sure.
Not me, but people that can, other people would be able to do that.
He's had some good performances, though, recently. I mean, he's picked up a split and a unanimous decision, but his last one with the body kick was really nice, really good. And then he's also got that rear naked choke over Jonathan Ireland. I watched them both, and he looks like the same fighter that he was, with a bit of, grit in his teeth because he's not in the UFC anymore.
I think Batgerel's a bit much for him, though, don't you?
Maybe
a little bit, touch sharper. Brandon likes to fight, don't he?
Has Brandon been TKO'd? He's only been subbed. Yeah, he's been subbed. Rear naked choke and that knee bar against Zabit. Yeah. Suluev stretch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were 2 on that night as well.
Is Zabit still alive?
I don't know, man. I don't know. He's like, he must be, I don't know. He needs to go up a weight class for sure. No, that's the problem.
I know what he's not doing.
What is he, like 6'2", 6'3"? I just think he needs to go up a weight class. I don't know what's going on with him, to be honest. I'd like to see him back in there. Is he matched up? He's not matched, is he?
I mean, I didn't think so, but...
Let me click on his name and see what
God, what did they make this morning? They made Brad Riddell and Fiziev.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Please do a war room on that.
Oh, I will.
That's a great matchup, isn't it?
Really good.
I got Batgerel anyway.
Okay.
Same?
Yeah, I think so. We'll
have none of this fence sitting.
I'm in love with that counter left hook that he's got. I mean, Brandon Davis has got all the skills to do it. He just fights a bit too emotionally sometimes. He was more measured though since he got released. I mean, maybe he's a different version of himself, but he had a tough run. I don't think his record does him justice. No,
that was a very, very tough intro to the top promotion, isn't it?
Okay. Ludovic Klein against Nate Landwehr.
What a wicked fight.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, that's...
You don't play video games, but...
Not really, no.
Nate Landwehr reminds me of... You play Fallout, Jamie?
I never played Fallout.
No, he reminds me of... So Fallout is like post-apocalyptic...
I might have played it with Cobb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks like one of the ghouls off it.
No, not.
You know, one of the guys that have kind of got their face fucked up and like their nose kind of melted off. I don't know why it reminds me of those ghouls.
No, I was thinking of Far Cry. What did you say? What were you talking about?
Fallout.
No, different.
No. I just every time I see him, I just think of those characters.
I don't feel like that's a comparison that he's going to be particularly happy
Probably
with. By
not,
the way
no,
you've
probably
described it.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a fun fight. I think it's going to look a lot like his like Landwehr's fight against Elkins.
Yeah.
Because Landwehr likes. He's more than happy to trade punches, and Klein was pushed around and backed up in his last fight. Of course, you know, in his UFC debut, he looked really good. A lot of people complain because he missed weight on that one, by a decent chunk. But I think it was a late notice fight. But then in that last one, he was pushed around a bit, and I feel like, if Landwehr starts walking him down and like screaming and wooing and fucking trying to start trading, I think we'll see Ludwig Klein start trying and clinch and take him down.
Okay.
Yeah, I do, and I think then we see Landwehr stuffing those takedowns and walking him down. Like that elbow I showed you earlier against Darren Elkins.
Yeah,
like that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the benefits of being confident enough to take a shot. It's the same thing with Korean Zombie and his counters. Because he's not bothered about getting hit, he puts himself in positions where he can land good shots. Yeah. And he's the same. And I just, like, Klein, I was really impressed with him coming off the Shane Young fight. But then in that last one, who was it? Trezano. Like,
I couldn't watch that because Fight Pass is a piece of shit. I tried to watch it this morning. I couldn't find it,
There's plenty of sites you can find that shit
on.
He just didn't look comfortable in that fight. Like Trezano was picking up his pace gradually. I think he even said at the end of the second round said to himself, like, I got to pick this up. But yeah, Klein was hurt in that fight. Got caught with a straight right. He was grappling in that fight, and he didn't look comfortable.
No. I thought it might be a bit too accurate for Nate. And Nate, that like the Erosa fight was a blueprint for him, innit? If you can. Nate's going to come and try and brawl, and Erosa was he's just a bit more accurate, a bit straighter, isn't he? And he did actually get caught in that sequence to finish. Erosa got caught, didn't he?
Yeah.
He wobbled him a little bit, but then managed to bring it back round.
Yeah. I mean, the kryptonite for Landwehr is knees. Yeah. You know, like Herbert Burns dropped him with a knee from the clinch, and then Erosa, that was a flying knee. But he was already hurt at that point. But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Landwehr
too much for him.
Yeah, I think he loves fighting enough to make Klein uncomfortable. Yeah, and if Klein doesn't get that finish in the first round, I don't know. Landwehr's he's a bit of a what's his name? Barbarena.
Yeah, right.
You know, he's a bit of a just fucking get it done somehow.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I couldn't find the Trezano fight. I don't think I watched it originally, but I felt like Klein in the Shane Young fight. It was a bit like a praying mantis. He just toyed with him, and then just the opportunity came, and he just he let go and did it. And I thought he could maybe like tempt Nate into coming at him and just pick him apart a little bit and counter him.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think he can, but I don't know. I don't know. He can definitely hurt Landwehr, but it's got to be first round. If it doesn't, then he's going to be under pressure and scrambling for takedowns. And then it starts to tumble into Landwehr's game where he's defending takedowns, pushing him off, hitting him with elbows, fucking wooing and getting in his face. And I mean, he's a maniac. That's one of the reasons why I like watching him. And I just think his enthusiasm might be a bit too much for Klein. And the other thing as well, missing weight, we don't know where he is at with his weight.
Yeah.
Like, is it going to be a hard weight class? He is fucking shredded.
Yeah, he is.
Who you got?
I had Klein.
Klein. Okay, I'm going the opposite way. I'm going with the Ghoul.
Ghoul
train.
I feel like we're going to go the same way on this one.
Yeah, well...
I think Luana's fucked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so if you look at Eubanks' record... all of her losses, bar one, are bantamweight. Like she's, and that loss was a decision to Chukagian back in 2015.
Yeah.
Like if you look at all of her other fights, she's got a decision loss to Aspen Ladd, 2 decision losses to Aspen Ladd, a decision loss to Kohea, same thing to Vieira and Kianzad. Like nobody's stopping her, but they're all bigger than her. And then if you put her against someone that's her size, like you saw that Elise Reed, or rather it's Sajara Eubanks versus Sajara Eubanks on Fight Pass.
Fight Pass being shit again.
Sort it out.
Come on.
she was just like, she just dominated her on the floor.
It was like, it felt uncomfortable, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was like a complete mismatch.
Like neon belly,
horrible.
throat grab,
like
hit her a couple
did
of
whatever
times.
she wanted.
Whatever
she
she
no answer
wanted.
at all, yeah.
Like, I would expect her to do the same thing to Luana.
She's about to get waterboarded.
You would think.
She's going to get waterboarded for sure.
But then she like, in the Battelio fight, she was able to like reverse positions, and Battelio was on her arm at one point, and she was able to scramble out. Like, I actually think her striking looks similar to Estela Nunes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, moves laterally on the outside nicely. Quite clear there's a Muay Thai base there, but us adapted it well for MMA. Like, a takedown offense isn't bad, but when she was grounded, she was scrambling out of bad positions to get back to her feet. That's where I feel like Eubanks can
I feel
manhandle
like
her.
Eubanks has just got a game and she knows what it is.
Yeah,
she's going to close her up. She can get older, and she's going to have her way. She's
Most
very
likely.
dominant when she's on. She's dominant, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a black belt. She's a strong grappler.
Yeah.
She's and this is the right weight class for her. She's got to be at flyweight.
Yeah.
If she's fighting bantamweight, she's working against physical attributes that she's going to struggle with. And I mean, you remember when she was in the Ultimate Fighter? I think she had to cut her dreads off to make weight. Like, I think she's always been really struggling with that point. But then she's not shredded either, is she?
No, she's a touch older as well, right?
Yeah, she's 36.
Yeah.
36. But yeah, I think this is the right weight class for her. I think if she can get her weight under control and put a streak together in this weight class, then she's
difficult.
Yeah, she's a problem. But bouncing between weight classes is where she's picked up 5 of her losses, you know? Like, she'd be 7-1 if it wasn't for the weight class moves.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I got Eubanks for me. I think it'll be a rough night for Carolina.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go Eubanks. But I'm expecting to see improvements in Carolina's game. Like, she did look better from the Lipsky fight to the... that was a knee bar, wasn't it? Do you want to talk about your knee again?
No, because at least that would be like...
You'd have an excuse.
reason to have a bad knee.
No, you were grappling with Jimmy Wallet. That's pretty awful.
Me trying to be offensive and just crumbling. At least there would be a decent reason.
Okay, so we're both going for Eubanks.
Yeah.
Okay, wicked. Danny Roberts against...
Talking to Jimmy Wallet.
Ramazan Emeeve, yeah. Danny Roberts, Ramazan Emeeve.
Yeah. Danny's a solid... He's a solid fighter, isn't he?
Great fighter.
Yeah, he's very good. All-rounded, really. There's some stuff in that last fight with Madaev.
Yeah.
Did you say his name?
Yeah,
Madaev, where he just got sort of caught out. They were talking about it in commentary about not finishing his takedowns. Like he'd blast in and he'd get in on the legs, and then he wouldn't turn the corner, and then you sort of end up like on the bottom, either with Madaev in mount or side control or something. It was a bit
Yeah.
Like he looked like he physically had enough to finish those takedowns, just technically just wasn't quite there.
Yeah. I remember like, because I've called a few of his fights, and I remember him, a lot of it was about the psychology side of it.
Right.
It's like he's got all the skills and all the physical attributes he needs, but the psychology is the bit that he stumbles on. And I think that's evident in his record, isn't it? Like he looked really good coming into the UFC. What was he, 12-1? 10-1 coming into the UFC off that win over Jimmy, and then beat Nate Coy by triangle.
Jimmy, fuck him up now.
Oh mate, it'd be a different thing now.
Fuck him up.
It'd be a different thing.
Yeah.
I'd put Jimmy in against either of these guys on this night. I mean, Ramazan Emeeve is going to be a horrible grinding striking match, and he's going to keep tying him up and leaning against him on the fence, and he might even try and drag him to the floor because that's where Danny tends to struggle. But it's just going to be a mauling if he allows Ramazan Emeeve to set the pace, and that's where Roberts could start to unravel a little bit psychologically.
Did you call the Rocco Martin fight?
Yeah.
When he just peppered his calf until it was like a balloon, wasn't it?
Couldn't stand on it, and yeah, bad.
Unreal. Yeah, I don't know about Emeeve, man. I feel like he should be doing a bit better than he's... I can't get a read on him, you know what I mean? I feel like he should be a bit better than he is, and he sort of sits back a little bit, and... Yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure.
Read into this how you will, but when he was in M1, he was rolling through guys. He was like first round guillotine, first round armbar, first round punches, you know, but then he came over to the UFC and all of a sudden everything slowed to decisions.
7 decisions in a row, isn't it?
which is odd because if you look back, he's got how many stoppages? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 11 stoppages on his record out of 20 fights.
Yeah.
Like
and then just
all of a sudden he started to kind of coast in the UFC
because of the level, or because he wants to play safe, or
I don't know.
Like he's arrived and he just wants to stay here as long as he can. He doesn't want to take any risks.
I don't know, to be honest. He seemed to strike a lot more in the UFC as well, which seems odd. I don't know. Maybe he picked up an injury or something and it changed the way that he competes. Yeah. Or maybe he was just being matched really well with guys as he was coming through M1 because they were building another superstar. Yeah,
I mean, I think Emeeve could probably get the win. You know what I mean? Like he could, if he puts Danny on his back and controls him and shoves him up against the fence and just beats on him for 3 rounds. I mean, stats wise, you're thinking it's probably going to be a decision. Like, there's nothing to suggest he's going to knock him out, really, is there?
Not really. I think the smart thing for Danny to do is to get on his bike, move laterally, and keep stinging him so he gets control of that first 3 minutes of the fight. Because if he doesn't control that first 3 minutes, and then the confidence shifts to Emeeve, and he'll just walk Danny down and maul him, Danny won't have the volume to keep him off. That's my concern for Danny. Is if he doesn't use the quality to keep him off, then he's going to have to try and match the volume. And that's where I think he starts to not even struggle physically. I still think he's in great shape. And I think he can match that pace. But I think psychologically, that's where he starts to struggle. Because Emeeve is just that guy. He's just, I'm just going to grind you for 15 minutes.
Emeeve looks like he needs a shot of adrenaline or something before he goes in there. He looks too calm. He's just like, whatever. You know, like who are you saying that can't find the thing that got him into the game?
Anthony Smith.
Yeah, Anthony Smith. Yeah. Emeeve was like that. He's like, oh, fight. Yeah. Oh, cool.
That might be it. I mean, he might have loved fighting on M1. Yeah. He might have loved, fighting in Russia in front of a hometown crowd and all that kind of thing. And then now he's, obviously the money's going to be better, but he was the M1 champion. Like they did love him over there. But
we'll see. I think maybe Emeeve.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think maybe Emeeve.
Yeah,
but we're pulling for Danny. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him impress. Yeah, for sure.
This is fight of the night.
Sanchez against Silva.
Yeah,
you reckon?
Yeah, I like Andrew Sanchez.
Do you?
Yeah, I think they're going to get in there, and they're going to he was there. He was having a tear up with Muradov.
Yeah, that's only because he couldn't take him down, though.
Well, he's still having a tear up until he's fucking got his DNA shook.
But that's
his DNA unravelled with just for a second and then unravelled back up, didn't it? It hit him so hard.
Yeah, that concussion's going to be passed down through generations.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I don't know. I just
you know
I'm not excited about either of these guys. No. I think Bruno Silva's gonna sit.
Bruno Silva fucking knocked Wellington Thurman out from guard.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I expect to happen in this fight.
You think I think
Andrew Sanchez is going to shoot and shoot and shoot. Bruno Silva is going to he's going to exhaust himself, find himself on the bottom against the fence.
Yeah,
and Bruno Silva's going to TKO him from open guard.
Shit. Because fucking power, Bruno, and
short range motherfucking power.
Yeah,
like first round and fourth round. He's got a TKO stoppage in the fourth round before he joined the UFC.
The only thing I say about Sanchez, and they alluded to it in the commentary maybe on his last fight, is he's clearly been trained in a slightly different way of striking. He's sort of learning it, that side on stance that he's started doing.
Yeah,
and obviously, like when you're in the UFC. And you're trying to learn something at the same time, you're under a lot of pressure to be able to get that right.
Yeah.
So I guess it depends where he's at with that, because there's a big consequence of getting that wrong, because Bruno Silva's got some knockout power.
Yeah.
I thought this will be... I was well surprised you said that. I thought this was going to be a bit of a banger.
I'm not mad excited about it, I'll be honest. I just expect Andrew Sanchez to not want to fuck with Silva striking at all. And it's either going to be a long one of him like leaning into the fence, and as at the end he's going, how are the judges going to see this? So they're going to score the strikes like the defensive. It's going to be like that, like the Jack Henschel fight of the week.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I can see it like that, where Sanchez is just, this is the safest place for me.
Do you know his opponent said that Jack clinched him all the time? In the post fight, he said all Jack wanted to do was clinch him up.
What?
Yeah, I know. That's what everyone is. What?
He needs to get some better weed at that 10th planet that he trains at then, because that motherfucker is wrong kind of high. There's just no way. Like I mean, it's an amateur fight, so I'm not going to go to the trouble. But I could get judges to score it for me, and I know not score it for me, score it, watch it, and score it.
Yeah.
With the proper criteria in mind. I
Be different.
don't know who the judges were at Golden Ticket, but you can tell that there's still echoes in like low level judging of guys that they're still scoring fucking UFC 20 judging criteria of, well, you can get a takedown and bury your face in their chest and you're winning because you're on top. I'm like, that's not the way that the criteria works. Like I don't know how many clips of Jack trying to fucking peel him off the fence and get free, and the guy was just chasing him and corralling him. It was boring.
He's a huggable
frustrating
guy.
He is, but you know, not in a fucking not in a cage fight, motherfucker.
So you're gonna pick then?
I'm pick Bruno Silva by TKO because I think Andrew Sanchez will struggle to control Silva, and thus confidence will break, and he'll get TKO'd on the floor against the fence.
Shit. Okay.
Very similar to Silva's last fight.
I'm going Andrew Sanchez. Has he still got a cool mullet?
I don't know.
I don't know if he chops it off. I quite like him.
El Dirty.
Yeah.
It's a good nickname. Yeah,
we'll see.
It's a good nickname. We'll see. I mean, he's at TriStar. You know, he's trying new things with his striking. Who knows? He might fucking stiff Bruno Silva with a high side kick, walk him straight onto it. No, who knows? I don't expect that, but you know, it'd be fun to see. Okay, I'll go Bruno Silva. You go Sanchez, right?
Cool.
Okay, wicked.
Cool. I don't know with this one.
Julian Marquez against Jordan Wright.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember the conversation we were having about Jordan Wright before he fought Joaquin Buckley? And he looked like a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
The conversation we were having is that he'd come into the UFC at 9-0. He fought Ike Villanueva, which was stopped on a cut.
Yeah.
And then he was lined up to fight Buckley. And I remember looking back through his record, and there are just no wins in the column of his opponents almost all the way through his career. Like the best record is probably a guy that was 7-3. But up until that point, he'd fought 8 guys and only 1 win between all of them, and 33 losses. I see that and I'm like, that's just horse shit. Yeah. Someone this XFS clearly saw that they've got like a bit of a star, and they, you know, I mean,
he's a major shareholder, I think. Mate, that Joaquin Buckley fight at the end, Jordan put his hand up, and then it wasn't a protective hand up. It was like, oh, bro,
like, please stop.
Fucking, that's enough, bro. That's enough. You've really hurt me.
Yeah. It was like a guy getting mugged at a bus stop is what it looked like.
Oh, okay, take my wallet. Take my wallet. It's fine. Whatever. No money in there.
See, but the thing was then after that, and like my assumption of him going into that fight and then that performance, I was like, yeah, he's the person that I thought he was.
Yeah.
And then he looked all right against Jamie Pickett.
Right.
Like he landed a good knee against the fence.
Yeah.
He landed a good knee against the fence. I mean, he's reckless in his finishing, and he fucking chased him down like really recklessly. And Marquez is going to stand his ground and throw big hands. Like he was trading punches with Sam Alvey, and not many people at middleweight opt to trade with Sam Alvey. Yeah. I don't mind Julian Marquez's style. There's a lot of risk taking in it, but it does work for him a lot of the time. I think these guys are going to be like, they're going to kind of mirror each other in a lot of ways. I think Marquez is the one pushing forward, and I think we're going to see Jordan Wright trying to counter strike him. But it'll be a messy, scrappy one. Yeah,
I think I got Marquez edging it. Just Patola and Alvey, they're
good subs as well.
Yeah, they're he's on a sub run, isn't he?
Yeah. I can see him backing up Jordan Wright, clubbing him around the head against the fence, and Wright either dropping or level changing into a neck attack. I could see that happening for sure.
Yeah,
I think Marquez takes this one.
Yeah, we agree.
Cool.
We agree. We've talked about this next one before, haven't we?
Yeah, was it on a card recently?
Yeah, well, it got cancelled late.
Which way did you go? You went Fiorot.
Fiorot, you went Silva, didn't you?
Yeah.
You like her, don't you?
I just, she's got that aggressive confidence that kind of overrides some of the skill deficits that she might have.
Yeah.
Like she's not, she's reckless, but she's effective with it.
I just think Fiorot's just sharp and bouncy and strong, and she's got that. Yeah, she's just got some slightly unorthodox striking, isn't she?
Yeah. I think that might be fight of the night.
You reckon?
Yeah, I do. I think that might be fight of the night because they're both great strikers. Bueno Silva has got good arm bars as well, and Fiorot's got good grappling. She's got judo in her background.
Must have.
So, like, yeah. I think that might steal the show. To be honest, I think that might be a real good scrap. Cool. Changing through levels, changing through ranges. I think Bueno Silva's going to try and ground it in the first round and get that sub, but I think Fiorot's going to be able to stop her, and then it'll be a kickboxing match. And they're both as aggressive as one another.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, Fiorot's fast and elastic. I think that's what we like to see in it.
Yeah. So we're going opposite ways, but the same.
Fiorot Silva.
Yeah.
I'll go Fiorot. You go Silva.
So what do you reckon of this next one then?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, I love that Jim Miller's still in there. Yeah, I love Jim Miller. That's what I mean. And you know what I like? We agree on. When you get in older, you need to be careful, look after your health. But Jim Miller's not getting slept.
No,
you know what I mean, he's going all right. He's going all right.
For sure.
He's getting decision losses and what have you, and that's fair enough, but he's not getting slept. He's not one of those where you're like, oh, come on, man, you got to leave it. No, it's not like that.
Like,
he's a stalwart of the game. Like he's a pillar of the organisation, isn't he?
Mate, when I was talking to the UFC about fighting again, that was the name they offered me. I'm like, I don't want to fight Jim Miller.
No, I like Jim Miller.
I'll fight Jim Miller.
Yeah,
this kid that they're bringing over for him is. I don't know. It feels like a fight to put a win on Jim's record. No disrespect to the kid Eric Gonzales, but he's a bit wild and a bit messy and a bit, and if you look down his record,
Jim's tight and locked in,
tight, good wrestling. It's going to be easier for this guy it's going to be easy for Jim to level change and put this guy on his back.
Yeah,
and I think he'll
have his way then, won't he?
Yeah, there's one submission on his record way back in 2015. He's predominantly a striker. He's kind of just very all over the place. I mean, I watched a couple of fights, a couple of his fights, and I watched a highlight reel as well. And it's sometimes difficult to pick out who's winning the highlight, if that makes sense.
It's a roll of the dice.
Whose highlight am I winning here? Like, are we celebrating how well he takes a punch or how well he comes back? And his losses on his record are to decent level fighters. Humberto Bandone, Rafa Garcia, he's fought some decent fighters, but he struggled when he's fought them. I think Jim Miller's gonna.
They were
roll over.
Everyone sort of was really super hyped about Joe Selecki and Jim Miller, weren't they? Like, oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be a real chess match on the ground, and then they just sort of neutralised each other completely, didn't they? Like even the commentary team were like, I thought this was gonna be really good.
Yeah.
I got Jim Miller. I can't imagine how this has come about, to be honest, other than to.
It's not a short notice one, is it? Is it a short notice one?
Maybe. Is it something cancelled?
No. So Jim was on a card a month ago, and tested positive for COVID.
Right. Okay.
So I guess.
Do you know who that was against?
It was against Nicholas Motta. So maybe did they match him up on? Yeah, they matched him up with somebody else, didn't they? And then that fight got cancelled as well. Yeah, they matched up against Cameron Van Camp. All over the place. Yeah, I think this is a good fight for Jim Miller.
Yeah,
I think he does what he does. I think he probably gets a sub. I could see him rear naked choking this guy, taking his back, strangling him. First round.
Yeah,
Jim Miller's got some wicked back taking skills.
Yeah, I'd be amazed if people see it the other way.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would. Someone thinks Gonzales is going to win though. He thinks he's going to win. For sure, he thinks he's going to win.
I can hope so.
I mean, there is going to be a sun setting on the career of Jim Miller, and maybe this is the point where we go, this is a guy that Jim should beat if we're talking about Jim Miller as we remember him, and not as he is now. And I'm not saying that's the case, but that time will approach. It does for every fighter,
Not this time.
No?
Nah, not this time.
Go
on, Jim.
You're on Jim Miller's side. And the other thing as well is it's right up near the top of the main card as well, which means that they want to kind of celebrate him. Maybe he's retiring.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's retiring. Maybe this is his retirement fight.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, this is a
Jamie.
Oh Jesus.
What was that?
My hat falling down. I moved most of my hats downstairs so I can keep rotating. It's just because I need to cut my hair. But I'm thinking about dyeing it.
What colour?
I don't know. Like a fiery
Black.
Orange. Like that kind of orange.
You're dyeing it back to black.
All right, fuck off.
Should we
paint
try and
yours?
stay out of hair,
Yeah, right.
hair jokes, to be honest. I'm just doing an Andre Winningham, backing out that conversation real fast. I didn't mean that. This should be fun, shouldn't it? Boy, is he fun to watch.
Fucking...
Is he fun to watch.
We'll just have this uncomfortable silence for a minute.
Put
Just
the dust balls coming across the screen.
Yeah, this is it's a good fight for Filipe to really put himself on the map as a heavyweight, and that's kind of what they use Arlovski for now.
Yeah.
And I hate it because I think he knows it as well. It's either going to be a really good performance for him, or it's going to be like a what's the word? Like a
changing the guard,
like a celebration for the new guy. Yeah,
51 pro fights versus 12 pro fights.
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
And with that comes a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's still sharp though.
For sure. You know, I actually got a message off him after the Tanabosa fight because he'd watched the War Room and he was like, "That was the the game plan." Yeah,
you do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like he does look good. When he looks good, he looks good. And I thought Tanabosa was going to be too much for him. You know, Chase Sherman was a coin toss because if he lands, he's a big old enthusiastic boy. Yeah, but then you look at the guys that he's lost to, like Aspinall, Rosenstrike, Sakai, Tuivasa, Abdurrahimov, like he's losing to like the top level of heavyweight. And at one point he would have been in amongst these guys and competitive, but now he's just kind of picking off on the fringes a little bit, you know.
He's the gatekeeper, isn't he? This is how you make it up to that level, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, you know, I have no problem with him playing that role. I would rather, and we've talked about this before as far as veterans go, I would rather see Arlovski in a different category of heavyweights where they're like feature bouts on UFC cards, you know, like a veterans feature bout between him and JDS or, you know, basically the guys that they keep fucking releasing.
Yeah, that's like a co-main event.
For sure.
I mean? It's like a cool
on anybody's
Masters
card.
Division co-main event.
Mate, they're talking about Chuck Liddell fighting boxing again. Like, people tune in because of the name.
I think his missus is boxing.
Right?
So it came out as him being, but now it's her.
Yeah, he got arrested for on her behalf.
Beating him up. Yeah.
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 Poor old
Madness.
Chuck.
Wildness.
I'm just pulling up the UFC rankings here.
From Filipe's point of view, Taff, De Castro and Spivak were all very different sort of molds to what he's going to face against Arlovski. But I thought Jake Collier was, because he's come up from middleweight, isn't he, Jake Collier? And he's a very, very quick, athletic heavyweight. So I thought that might put him in
He's chunky.
good stead. He is chunky, isn't he? But he still moves fast. His gas tank let him down a little bit.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to be fighting.
Not really.
I had this conversation with him in Fight Island, and he was like, yeah, they said they were going to release me if I don't take a fight, so here I am fighting at heavyweight.
Right.
And he is a middleweight.
I'm just here fighting
and he knows he's a
eating.
middleweight. Yeah, he's just. But I think he's actually quite enjoying it now.
Yeah. Well, he brings a little bit of difference, doesn't he? He's big.
He is.
But he moves and
Like a
he's quick
Daukus.
and he's got a bit of bounce. Yeah.
He moves like a Daukus.
Um,
Where's the heavyweight division here? Let me have a look.
so yeah, I just thought that was a good sort of lead in for Carlos to coming up against Arlovski. Like he's seen that bounce, he's seen that sharpness.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not seen the traps and the wily games that are going to get played by Arlovski, but you know this is his testing ground, isn't it?
I've always enjoyed watching Filipe's fights. I called a couple of them, and he's just like, he loves it.
He loves it.
He's calling them on. He's trash talking.
Yeah.
His conditioning's good because you can't do that if you're out of shape.
Yeah,
You know, and he doesn't put everything into his punches as well. Like he's like a heavyweight Diaz. Like he like slaps them with 60% and gets inside their head and then starts popping.
and then bang. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like I'm not picking. A bit rose tinted glasses for Arlovski. I feel like he could counter. Like Felipe's a bit hooky, isn't he? Like he'll throw big wild hooks and stuff, and I wonder whether Arlovski can just pick him off and counter him or what have you. But there's a lot of power coming through, and Carlos ain't gonna drop off a cliff. He's just gonna keep coming.
Yeah,
Might Yeah, it might be. He might be too youthful and enthusiastic for him. Maybe.
He might be.
Maybe.
I said I wasn't going to pick what I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Arlovski.
Oh, yeah.
I think Arlovski's going to take a decision. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, the most likely thing in my head is that Filipe gets to him and peppers him and and hurts him. Maybe not stops him, but definitely hurts him and keeps him backing up. But because Filipe is his last 4 fights have been decisions, haven't they? All in the UFC.
She's wild for a heavyweight.
Yeah.
With he's obviously got heavy hands as well,
but I think it gives Arlovski time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I like. I think it might give Arlovski time, and I think he is the technically better fighter with a lot of experience.
Yeah.
My laptop's being weird. Yeah. Which way you going? You going Filipe?
Yeah. Kind of don't want to,
But you kind of feel like you have to.
I've written it, so can't go back on that.
Well, there you go then.
Can't go back on that. If you saw my notes and I'd pick the other way, you'd think that you'd convince me. Can't have that.
Okay.
So this was supposed... who was this supposed to be?
This was supposed to be Holly Holm against Norma Dumont. Aspen Ladd missed weight a couple of weeks ago.
A load of shit for it, didn't she?
Yeah, loads of shit. And now she's gone up a weight class to fight at featherweight at short notice against Norma Dumont. I don't think it's a bad move. I still don't think it's the right weight class for her, though. I think there's weight on her frame that can come off, and I think she is a bantamweight.
Right.
But then she steps up and gets a win over Dumont, who's just coming off a win over Felicia Spencer, and that you're immediately in conversations for titles at featherweight.
But Dumont is up at 145. Yeah. She's been down at 135.
Has she? This fight's at 45 definitely. I'm not sure if Dumont's been at 35 actually.
Hold on. Stat check. Quick. I thought she'd been at 35 and she's come up. Not super recently, but she's been... Oh, your internet's been...
It is being weird, isn't it?
Again, yeah.
I've just noticed that. I did get a message from them saying that they were doing work in the area, though.
Oh, we can't check the stats now. Oh, here we go.
Well, yeah. I mean, she's the bigger fighter. She's got a height and reach advantage by an inch. It's not massive, but she didn't look massively undersized against Felicia Spencer. She struggled to get Megan Anderson to the floor, and then she was countered. But I feel like
she's been at 134 in Shuto.
Oh, I see.
Ashley Evans was 135 at Bantam.
Yeah, see, Megan looked too much for her, but then she was back at featherweight for
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Geez, I don't know. I don't know if if you're going to go up or down, it can't be on a whim. Do you know what I mean? You need to be at that weight and train at that weight and have your camp at that weight and know where you're going. Otherwise, everything's not ready. Your systems aren't ready. They're primed for one weight and then suddenly another. And I think that can work both ways. What's a camp? I suppose. How long ago was that cancelled fight? It was only a couple of weeks, wasn't it?
Yeah,
her whole camp has been about losing weight and what have you. And how much training have you got done during that camp when you're trying to lose all that weight? And now you've had a week to eat whatever the fuck you want and try and put on a bit of weight. You know what I mean? Your body doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, and you've got to think Aspen Ladd's last fight was nearly 18 months ago.
Yeah.
Since then, she had the cancelled bout with Pena because Pena was injured. Then she tore in her ACL and MCL and was pulled out of the Sarah McMahon fight. Then Chasson was injured, so that fight was remade. And then, see, what's weird about that is Aspen Ladd saying that Macy Chasson turned the fight down because she was overweight, but all of the details and information online says that it was Ladd was withdrawn due to illness from the weight cut. That's what it says on Wikipedia. That's what it says on Tapology.
Right.
So I don't know as Macy Chasson did turn the fight down. I think they pulled Aspen Ladd out because
they pulled Aspen Ladd.
Yeah, but
she looked like she was going to die on the scale.
Yeah, she's not. She was saying that
she was like,
I know, bad.
It was awful. Yeah.
So then, how does that play into this? Because she was 137, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's not even 2 weeks ago. Well, it will be by then. But that can't be good for her.
No, I don't think
what's
so.
that? What would that do to you physiologically?
Well, you're a mess. You're all over the place, up and down. Your systems are off and on, and you're in a calorie deficit now. You're in a calorie overshoot. She probably feels good right now. She's like, calories.
Yeah, what was Norma Dumont weighing 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. Well, you'd think she'd be at least it would be like rhythmical. I mean, she knows this process to get in here, and consistency and rhythm is sport. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how you get peak performance, is you control controllables.
I wonder why Norma Dumont's bouncing around weight classes.
Yeah,
Was she?
I thought she looked healthy in that Spencer fight. I thought she looked really good. I thought she looked athletic. I thought she moved well. She looked healthy. I didn't see it as a split decision, really. I thought it was a solid decision for Dumont.
Yeah. I agree. I didn't score it for Spencer.
Yeah.
My concern is that we saw the limitation of her game against Megan Anderson, because I give Norma Dumont the advantage in striking because she's got better footwork. She doesn't always move forward. She's got
She landed a lot in that Spencer fight, didn't she?
She did. And then if you think about Aspen Ladd, even in fights where she's won, like even in the Sajara Eubanks fight, she was getting peppered on the way in.
Yeah.
Like I think Norma Dumont might have enough footwork and pop and takedown defense to force Aspen Ladd to strike, and then she'll look small and underwhelming.
Yeah.
I like Aspen Ladd's style, but she has to be in top position, otherwise she looks like she's never done a kickboxing class in her life. Like literally, walks like 1 foot in front of the next.
Yeah. Wild.
It frustrates the hell out of me.
Well,
it wouldn't take much to have a sidestep.
Completely normal. Like that's how people actually move.
Yeah, but not in
you
a
have to
fighting
unlearn
context.
all of that to do combat.
Not in a fighting context.
No.
Like she needs to sidestep sometimes, and she needs to move her head off the centre line sometimes, and that's all natural to Norma Dumont.
Yeah, I thought Norma looked good in that last fight, and I think she'll be a little bit too much. It'll be interesting to see if it gets dragged into the third or beyond the third, how the fuckery with the weight and the calories and the diets and all of that, how that plays out.
Yeah. I mean, that to me just seems like it's playing into Norma Dumont's favour over and over.
Yeah, I took Dumont in it.
Yeah.
I think so.
Agreed.
I think Aspen can be a good... She just needs to find consistency. She needs to find a settled weight program, training system, whatever it is that's unsettled. She needs to find that settled, and she's clearly talented.
Yeah, for sure. She's talented and she's sociopathic as well in her approach.
What a great combination.
I mean, she's ideal for MMA.
Yeah.
But she needs some structure to her striking training, because it's going to cost her. It cost her in the Jermaine Durandamy fight, like 16 seconds, and she walked onto a shot.
Yeah,
and then you saw the same thing with Norma Dumont against Megan Anderson. She walked straight onto a shot after she couldn't take her down. I don't think that Aspen Ladd's got the pop or the footwork to cause her problems on the feet. So if I'm Norma Dumont, I'm like,
let's go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So both got Dumont.
Yeah, I think so. There's also one championship first strike this Friday.
Nice.
So make sure you check that out. We've got a preview show which will be going up soon, won't it? Like today or tomorrow. Yeah.
And
we did put one up, and then the whole card was changed, so we re-recorded it and put it back up. But it's a 6-fight card. They've got a heavyweight fight opening it, 6'4" against 6'7". It's going to be a fucking train wreck. That one is.
Nice.
Then they're into the featherweight kickboxing Grand Prix. And it's, shall I see if I can remember all the names? So we've got...
That means you already know the names.
No, it's not.
Because there's no way you'd go, let's see if I can remember all the names and then get them wrong.
No, because...
Just put heaps of pressure on it.
Is that right? Yeah. I'm actually, what's weird is I can picture the page in my notebook in my head, and I can read it off it. So
that is weird.
David Kiria against Enrico Kell.
Yeah.
Then we've got Chingiz Alazov taking on Sami Sana. Then we've got Sitachai and Tayfun Ozcan fighting. Then it's Andy Sauer and Marat Grigorian. And so that's the featherweight kickboxing Grand Prix. Kell reminds me of Deckers. He's just like the way he fights. He's a southpaw. He's got a high, tight guard, and he just like there's this wicked knockout over Armen Petrosian. Throws a high kick. The high kick gets blocked, and before he even puts his foot down, he fires a straight left and knocks him down with it. Kiria is very good. He used to be ranked number 1 in the world, but I think Kell's going to be too much for him. Alazov and Sami Sana are the two tallest guys in the Grand Prix. Sana being 6'3", but fights like nose to nose. Yeah, that's going to be a hell of a fight. Then it's Sitachai, who's pretty much beaten everybody in the tournament already at some point, as well as he beat Marat Grigorian 4 times.
Oof.
How depressing would that be? Like he's 1-4 against Sitachai and Marat Grigorian.
Ooh. He's
taking on Tayfun Ozcan, who's the debutant, he's the Turkish turbine, he's a whirlwind. He is just constant pace, low knockout ratio compared to the other guys, but his output's wicked. And Sitachai, of course, as we know, is lethal. And then the co-main event is the Marat Grigorian fight against Andy Sauer. And Sauer's it's ridiculous. He's had 161 wins on his record, 183 fights total, 98 knockouts, and he still has the highest knockout ratio on the whole card. That's crazy, isn't it? Considering how many fights he's had. Wild. But I think Grigorian's just gonna be too much for him. Like Sauer's started to look like he's slowed a little bit, and Grigorian's a monster. And then the main event is the inaugural belt between Superbomb Banchamek and Giorgio Petrosian.
Good job, bro. Good job.
It's all in there.
Fucking combat Rain Man over there.
So I'll see you in Clubhouse on Friday. I'll be calling in for a chat.
You go in the Clubhouse.
I'm calling and have a chat. I'm not going to be there for the whole time because I'll be at the gym with the guys and stuff. But yeah, I'll be dropping in, especially for the Grand Prix. It's going to be wicked. Fucking electric.
Nice.
Can't wait for it.
All good. Check out fullreptile.co.uk if you want to get on board with the Roughhouse gear and all the other gear we have. We have the bullet lines, we have esoterics, we have hats, we have tees, we have all kinds of stuff. So check that out. And if you're in America, jump on c4energy.com.
This is the one. I'm having this in a bit before I train. Because my new wrecking ball came on a Mighty Cyrus in my gym on my new Fairtex wrecking ball.
Fairtex, good work.
Get prepared for the frozen one.
Lovely. Job done.
Nice one.
Yeah, mate.
Catch you next time.